Welcome back to Trading IQ, where we will learn the unlimited nature of the stock market. In today's video, I'm going to bring in one unique video that is less discussed in the stock market community. Now, to be successful in the stock market, you have to have the right mindset. You may be a hell of an analyst. You may be a very good technical or fundamental analyst. But unless you have that right mindset, the right psychological structure, you will never be successful in the stock market. Because, see, it is one thing to have a plan, it is another thing to execute your plan consistently, repeatedly over a period of trades. Mechanically. I should use this word mechanically because we cannot operate mechanically because we have emotions, we have feelings. And stock market does not care about your feelings. Stock market does not care about what you're feeling, what you're thinking, what your emotion is all about. If you want to be successful, you have to be mentally tough. Pick any one of the stock market investors, successful investor. They have showcased what mental toughness is all about. So I'm working on different aspects of how you can improve your psychological structure. So it is all about experience, and I'm continuously experiencing different aspects, and I'm going to bring in different topic and different subject on how you can be a better investor when it comes to your mindset. So I'm also working on sharing different perspective on what I have learned from my mistakes, and I have created one playlist which is Learn from My Mistakes, and I have shared few perspectives, and while I did that, I have used this term quite a lot, which is psychology of money. Now, this is a vast topic in itself, and there is a book by Morgan Housel, Psychology of Money. I was fortunate to read that book, and it changed my perspective, it changed my mindset. And even if you're not a stock market investor, you should know about the psychology of money, because this is very important. This will give you a perspective on what is money for you, what does it mean for you. So I'm going to bring you another playlist alongside some other playlists that I'm currently working on, which is Psychology of Money, and continuously share my perspective on the summary of the. Of course, I'm totally influenced by that book. I'm not going to bring in my whole set of new ideas, but of course I have realizations, I have different experiences after reading that book that I'll bring it to you. So I'm totally influenced by that book. Just a disclaimer. People from different generations, raised by different parents, who earned different incomes and held different values in different parts of the world, born into different economies, experiencing different job markets with different incentives and different luck, learn very different lessons. Everyone has their own unique experience of how the world works. And what you have experienced is more compelling than what you will learn secondhand through a book, through a movie, through a Netflix series. You will never be able to understand the magnitude of that experience if you're not experiencing in real time, right? The person who grew up in poverty will have a different perspective of money. He will think of risk to reward ratio in a way that a child of a banker cannot even fathom if he even tried to think of that risk to reward ratio. He cannot, because he would find it crazy to think that sort of a risk to reward ratio, because he is coming from a different background. You know the stuff about money that I don't, and vice versa. You go through life with different sets of beliefs, forecast, upbringing, perspective than I do. We all have different lives shaped by different experiences. Your personal experience with money may be not 1% of what's happened in the world. But you think that 80% of what you think is actually what is happening in the world. So what I'm trying to say here is that you know nothing about money. You know nothing about how the world works. You have to have this perspective when you're dealing in the stock market, which is you know absolutely nothing about the economy. You know absolutely nothing about what is going to happen, what has happened. You have got bloody no clue about it. It is very important to know less. It is very important to stick to your plan. Now you get derailed from your plan because of these aspects. Because you think that you know about the economy than others. You know about how the world works than others. You know about what the future will bring than others. You think that you are the smart ass, but you are not. No one is. That perspective can only help you to focus on whatever plan that you have and be consistent with it and be mechanical with it. Now, why this is important? Why this should mean anything to you? Why should you bother to listen to this? Now, remember those times you sold a stock because you thought that that is the end of that rally, because the market will fall from here, because something or the other will happen, because you got totally different perspective altogether just like that. You get derailed from your plan because of these beliefs that you know about the world better than others. You know when to time the market. You know when to get yourself out of the market. You think yourself that you are the smartass. So that perspective will not help you in the stock market. Being mechanical about your plan is what it requires you to be successful. And for that, you have to keep aside your emotions. And you can only do that if you have a perspective such as this, that you know nothing. You know nothing about how the world works. Because whatever you know, it is because of your experience from your childhood, how you were raised from different sets of beliefs and how you have built different sets of beliefs. The way that you should look at stock market, or the way you should look at this industry, is that you know nothing, you have a plan, you come into the market, you execute your plan the way you have demonstrated to yourself. Now, another point I wanted to focus on is that you can never copy anyone else. You see a successful person, you try to copy that person. You try to copy his plan, his or her plan. You can never be successful by doing that. Because his plan, his or her plan, will work with him or her because of their perspective of how the world works, because of their perspective of what money means to them, because of their upbringing, because of how they were raised from childhood. So they have different perspective and they have a plan. And why they are successful? Because they were able to follow their plan successfully, mechanically, consistently, repeatedly over periods of trades. So you cannot copy anyone. You have to get this fact straight, because it can only work for them. Each and everything that they do it subconsciously. So whatever I am doing in the market, I am trying to practice it regularly, and whatever I am sharing, whatever I am teaching, the plan, especially the plan, I haven't shared how much I have invested. I haven't shared what's my risk to reward ratio, like how much I'm risking on a given trade. I haven't shared that because it is my personal risk to reward ratio on how I think about money, what I think about money, what is the risk tolerance that I have. When you visit different stock market channels, they will not share how much money, how much capital they have invested in a given stock, because that will only work for them. So a plan will only work for that individual based on his risk appetite, his risk tolerance and his desired reward, because whatever he is seeking, according to that his risk tolerance will be. So your risk tolerance, my risk tolerance cannot be same, or your risk tolerance or anyone else's risk tolerance cannot ever be same. We all have different lives. So do not try to copy others. Try to learn from others. Try to learn from my perspective on what I'm sharing as my plan. But you cannot copy that plan, because when you're going to invest money using that plan, you don't know how much to invest. You don't know how much to risk. So you have to figure out your risk to reward ratio, and accordingly you have to invest and create your own plan. This is just the beginning. I'm going to cover more such topic, and on this playlist, Psychology of Money, I'm going to bring you a lot of new perspective that helped me as a person. And of course, I'm improving in the stock market. My portfolio performance is improving. I'm going to share that in my upcoming videos, how I'm improving as a retail investor. So that's the goal. On this channel, what I'm sharing is that how I'm becoming a successful investor. So I know this for a fact. I believe this fact that I'm going to be a successful investor, and that is how I'm shaping my mindset. That is how I'm shaping my subconscious level, that I'm going to be successful. So I hope you like this video, and if you do, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on my next video. Thank you and have a great day.